iTunes Finder or over the air like I did here. Now this came in at 4.16 gigabytes on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it was anywhere from 3 to 4 gigabytes on these devices, and that's because they were coming from the beta. Now if you are on the beta or beta 3 or 4, one of those versions, it's going to be a large install. It will be much smaller if you're coming from iOS 13.4.1. You do not need to uninstall the beta profile or anything. You should just be able to check for an update by going to Settings, General, Software Update, check for an update, and you should have it, and you'll be able to install it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the build number. The build number is 17F75, and this particular build brings a few new features along with some bug fixes as well. So we'll go over them one by one, but before we talk about that, there is no modem update if you're coming from the beta. You may have a modem update if you're coming from iOS 13.4.1 to fix issues like connectivity, for example. So if you were having problems, they hopefully will be resolved with this issue. Now also, people were asking me, is this update going to fix the VPN issue that we were having as far as not having secure data? And unfortunately, no VPN company has responded to say that yes, it was fixed, and Apple has not mentioned it. So it may or may not be until someone confirms that. So once they do, of course, I'll let you know. Now, the first feature has to do with music. So if we go into music and maybe we're playing a song, if we want to share this song to Instagram stories, we now have the option. So if we tap on the three dots here, tap on share, you'll see that we have the option for Instagram. You'll also have the option for Facebook if you have that. So if you tap on Instagram, it will create the story, and then it will go over to Instagram and it will share the story. So you can share this as a story to Instagram stories or Facebook stories. So it's a nice little update. It just makes it a little bit easier if you're trying to do that. Now, the next thing has to do with Face ID, and specifically if you have Face ID and you're using a mask, so this will make it a little bit easier to unlock your phone. So let me show you what I mean. Now, for example, if you're wearing a mask like this and you want to unlock your phone and you have one that uses Face ID, usually it takes a few swipes up to get to the password prompt. Now, just swipe up, it recognizes that I have a mask and will prompt me for my password. This will work in everything from unlocking your phone to also working with Apple Pay and applications that require Face ID as well. So they've made it a little bit easier if you're wearing a mask. Maybe you're in a store and you want to pay using Apple Pay. It will be easier. Instead of having to swipe up multiple times, it should just recognize you have a mask and be much quicker. Now, the next thing has to do with FaceTime, and a lot of people are using group FaceTime, and so they've added an option to change what's called automatic prominence. So if we go to Settings, and then we go to our settings down here and go to FaceTime, down at the bottom of FaceTime, you'll see it says automatic prominence, and it says during group FaceTime calls, the tile of the person speaking will automatically become larger. And so you can turn this on or off. If you just want to have everyone speaking at once and you don't want the tiles to change constantly based on who's speaking, you can turn that off. It's just a simple tap, turn it on or off, and it's a nice little option for those of you using large group calls. Now with iOS 13.5, Apple has added exposure notifications for contact tracing. Now keep in mind this is turned off by default and cannot be turned on automatically. There is no way to turn it on without your approval. So if you go into Settings and then you go down to Privacy, under Privacy, go to Health, and you'll see Exposure Logging. If we go into this, you'll see it's off by default. And unless you have an app installed that wants to use it, maybe your country has an app they want you to use or something like that, it cannot be turned on. So you need to install that app. Then it will ask you if you want to turn it on. It cannot be installed automatically. Now this will work across iOS and Android phones to let you know, and you can go to exposure checks to see any exposures. So again, it's voluntary. It's completely private and turned off by default. Now, the next thing to go along with Health, Apple has added some updates. So if we go into the Health app, the first time you open it, at the top, it will say Emergency Access to Medical ID. We can review the access to medical ID. And again, this is off by default and only allowed if you want to use it. It's been there for a while, but they're just asking you if you want to review this due to another feature I'll talk about in a moment. So you can review the medical ID, put in your information if you want to, or not put it in at all. It's up to you. Now going
apps from public health authorities. So this update is going to be crucial for adapting to our current times. If we go to learn more here, you can see the passcode field will automatically present after, swiping up from the bottom of the lock screen when you're wearing a face mask. It also works when authenticating apps, Apple Books, Apple Pay, So allowing you to wear your mask. This actually is very good because you don't have to take off your mask when you're outside to go ahead and get into your phone a lot easier. Now, FaceTime also includes new things for group FaceTime calls, so video titles do not change size when participants speak. Also, in emergency services, you can also automatically share health and other essential information from your medical ID with emergency services. And you can see there's a couple other bug fixes. But here's the two big ones, Face ID and the exposure notification API to support COVID-19. You can see this update for the 11 Pro Max is 420.2 megabytes down. Now, if I go to iPhone storage, you can see I have 69.1 gigabytes used. Let's see if we gain anything after the updates. Let me go ahead and download and install, and I'll be back in a second. So it should come in at a similar download size depending on your device. It might be a little bit higher or a little bit lower. Let us know your download size down below with the community. I'll be back when the official update is on here. Okay guys, so we are now in iOS 13.5. You can see software version 17F75, the official version. Okay, so looking at the storage, I had 69.1, now it says 69.5. So it looks like it took up a little bit of space here. Now let me go ahead and show you this new Face ID speed. Okay guys, so you can see I'm wearing the mask right now. You can see I'm wearing it right there. Let me show you how it responds now when it sees a mask. So you can see it's just immediate. It just kind of looks at it. Passcode is there ready because it knows you're wearing a mask. Now, hopefully in the future, Apple could find a way where we could register the mask in our face with the Face ID if need be. But maybe by then we'll be out of this lockdown and we won't need that. But for now, this is going to work as a temporary solution. Okay, guys, so now when it comes to the contact tracing, this is just the start. Like Google and Apple are working on this, just now getting the APIs out to the phones here. In the coming months, there'll be more applications that will take advantage of this, but kind of know when you've just been exposed or been near someone maybe.
Nous allons voir dès maintenant ce que propose cette mise à jour. Les nouveautés sont peu nombreuses, mais la priorité de certaines sont d'une grande importance. iOS 13.5 Beta intègre un nouveau paramètre contenant la première version de son API de notification d'exposition pour le suivi des contacts au COVID-19. Vous pouvez retrouver ce paramètre dans les réglages, confidentialité, santé et notification d'exposition COVID-19. Apple a pris les premières mesures pour faire du suivi des contacts une fonction pratique entre les iPhones et les appareils Android. Cette fonctionnalité va entre autres envoyer et recevoir des signaux Bluetooth à tout autre téléphone à proximité. Si quelqu'un est testé positif au Covid-19, une alerte peut être envoyée au téléphone pour informer l'utilisateur d'une exposition potentielle. Tout se fait de manière anonyme par un système d'envoi d'identifiants aléatoires sécurisé. Ces notifications sont activées par défaut, mais elles peuvent être aussi désactivées à tout moment. La première version bêta comprend donc tous les outils et les API nécessaires aux autorités de santé publique pour commencer à créer des applications et des services pour que la fonctionnalité soit opérationnelle. Pour le moment, il n'y a pas d'application pour le public, mais cela donne un bref aperçu des futures applications de traçage. Passons à la suite. Cette mise à jour intègre aussi une nouvelle option permettant d'avoir la possibilité de désactiver l'effet de zoom automatique sur la personne depuis un FaceTime en groupe. Par défaut, si une personne prend la parole dans un groupe FaceTime, une centralisation par un grossissement du visage prend effet pour ainsi mettre en avant cette personne. Cet effet peut donc dès à présent être désactivé depuis les réglages, puis dans FaceTime. Cette mise à jour permet aussi de résoudre un problème sur l'utilisation de Face ID avec un masque de protection. iOS 13.5 s'adapte aux porteurs de masques et permet au système de déverrouillage facial d'Apple de détecter si un masque est porté, afin de basculer plus rapidement vers l'écran de code d'accès. Enfin, dans les réglages, Général et Informations, le détail sur la couverture de l'appareil est plus approfondi en y indiquant de plus amples informations. Concernant les performances, sur cette mise à jour, il n'y a rien à signaler. La fluidité est bonne et la rapidité est toujours en rendez-vous. Pour ce qui est de la batterie, nous ne pouvons pas nous baser sur des résultats fiables en 2 jours. Néanmoins, pour donner des résultats, après plusieurs jours sous iOS 13.4.5, la batterie est stable et n'apporte pas de problème. Et voilà, c'est fini.